Hello and welcome to Cliff Alerts.
Today we will be discussing Season 6, Episode 6 of Ready to Love. But before we get into it, we're asking that you please subscribe, share, like our channel, and we are grateful for the opportunity to share our thoughts with you.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you. A meeting in the men's lounge amongst all the fellas, and all the fellas were given a test by nephew Tommy. Go out with your second option, the person that you feel like you have a second best connection with. Okay.
Yeah,
Or go out with your backup plan.
I don't know any woman out there who wants to be the second option, but okay.
Hey, well, my words, his words,
and
his direction to the fellas.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
I'm with you. The show started off with Eric and his meeting with Carmen.
Yes, and I thought it was a little strange that Eric from the gate after meeting Carmen will talk about his date with the Kia. It's about her wanting to kiss, and she leaned forward and he obliged her by giving her a kiss. He told Carmen this. And I found it strange because I wondered why is he sharing information on a date he had with someone else, with Carmen, who is already competitive in this process. And Carmen's confessional, she didn't talk too kindly about the Kia.
Yeah, she did say that the Kia, or described the Kia as an appetizer, and described herself as the main course.
Yeah, Carmen, I know you are fully in yourself as a woman or what have you, but nobody likes pretentious behaviors. At least that's what I think. You shouldn't downgrade a woman's personality because you want to be a competitor to her and elevate yourself. Just be mindful of that because you can come across pretentious.
Yeah, she also says in her confessionals that well, you know, who wouldn't want me? I know Eric wants me, but who wouldn't? You know, I'm it.
Again, that's good to have that confidence, that thing within you that keeps your back straight and the girls up. But you don't have to share that with anyone. That could be like your own little secret. And I see these ladies sort of have a problem with keeping secrets to themselves.
Yeah, seems like that is a theme going on these days.
Oh my
God. For
God.
sure. Anyway, they had what I would characterize as a good date.
Yes. Carmen felt the need to tell Eric to give the other woman that he was looking at their eviction papers.
Serve him right now.
That again is presumptuous because if Eric does that, he will leave himself possibly up for elimination because he doesn't have a backup plan with Carmen. And trust and believe, Carmen is gathering folk around her. She's got Pio interested. She's trying to put her little hooks into Donovan, and she got Clifton sideways as well. So she's trying to get a full set going. And I would, if I was Eric, I wouldn't just start handing out eviction papers.
No, a little too soon for that.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so.
All right, as we move on, I think that there was another date coming. I think it was Demetrius and Tina, right?
Yeah, Demetrius met with Tina. Tina, as usual, came in with the girls on display, and she's young, nothing wrong with that. But sexy is more than having the girls out. Sexy is showing some not substantial cleavage, but a little hint, just to keep the man's focus. But you don't have to put it all out there on the first date.
You're saying she don't have to put out all the groceries, right?
No, she could get some clothing that's just as as alluring and sexy, and still have the man's attention,
Sure.
rather than having all the prize, so to speak, out.
I got you. But she did say something that did stand out to me, and she said at the beach house when she met up with Demetrius. Demetrius didn't even acknowledge her, her presence at the beach house.
Right.
And while he took ownership of it, she kind of thought or felt a certain way because of that. And so, based on her observation, she kind of felt like this guy's giving me player vibes, and she admitted it to Demetrius. And she also said, well, she didn't know, but and she didn't want to make the assumption, but she kind of implored Demetrius to prove her wrong.
Well, I think that was out of left field. She came in hot. Girl, if a man don't speak to you at an event, that's nothing wrong with that. You still got his attention. He's right in front of you. Wasted energy, wasted time.
She clearly had his attention, because I noticed that in some of the cutaway shots, one of the cutaway shots that they had, Demetrius was leaned forward and had her eyes directly on her.
Yeah, he was.
So he was paying attention.
He was paying attention. He was very attentive. You could see him looking at her and listening to what she's saying. But I just think she needs to be careful. She's a very attractive woman, and she needs to start owning that. Granted, she's still young, but coming out of a toxic relationship, she needs to lean back a little bit and take steps wisely, so she can attract the thing that she wants, which is opposite to the toxic relationship she had.
Yes,
and
she
something that was alarming to me is that she said Demetrius was a type. Well, was the guy, the father of your child, your type as well? If so, I would recommend that you get a different type.
Yeah, and what even confused me even more was that, like I said, she said that he was giving off player vibes to her, but I think that Demetrius was kind of caught off guard by that.
Yeah, he clearly didn't like that, and I think what she was trying to articulate is that all the women seem to be feeling Demetrius, and I'm not sure why, because all he's showing, he looks good as a fashion model, but we haven't yet gone beyond the clothes. And I think he may be hiding something behind that polished look.
One thing's for sure, it'll definitely come out the further they go along. We'll see.
Yeah.
Donovan and Sabrina, and Donovan and Carmen, and Donovan and Dakia.
Donovan was doing some speed dating. Nothing wrong with that. You get confused as to who you're with. Dakia, she was dressed nicely, and they seemed to have a good conversation.
Good vibe between the both of
them.
Initially. So that, like you said,
I didn't see any sparks between them, but I just see two friendly people meeting and chopping it up.
Yeah, and I think it was a little different with his meeting with Carmen.
Yeah, well, Carmen brings that because she got that stare that she gives, you know what I mean? What was surprising is she said she's competitive. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want us to have a competitive relationship. A competitive relationship is he is on one end and you're on the other, and you're banging heads. That's no kind of relationship to have. So when she said she was competitive, and then she asked him if he was competitive as well, was like a non-starter, because if we are competitive, my expectation would be that he will lose every time.
Yeah,
and if he don't lose, there's a problem. That's why you're not competitive with the person that you're living with or dealing with, because it brings a whole lot of mustard and schmidt.
Yeah, isn't that the word you meant? Schmish. No, smish.
Ish. I'm trying to avoid saying stuff.
Saying the S word.
It brings a lot of ish that you really don't want to deal with. So his date with Sabrina seemed like it was good. She looked beautiful, and he looked like he was enjoying himself.
The visuals, right?
But what I find surprising is that Sabrina will say to in her
Confessional, right?
confessionals that if he plied her with three or more drinks, she was ready to go at it. And oh God, girl, please, that's a secret. Come on, you're better than that.
Yeah, you know as well as I do that there are enough guys out there anyway who think the game plan is gas them up, smash them up.
Exactly.
And so that's not a good thing from my vantage point to admit on camera to about yourself to a network audience or anybody for that matter.
Right.
That's something that's better left unsaid from my.
And what is your intention? That's what you want. But I thought this was inappropriate.
Like I said, there are some things that are better left unsaid.
Secret.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, hopefully she won't make that mistake again because that one's clearly a mistake in her confession.
Because she seems so intentional about what she's doing.
Yeah, right.
Too many people say crazy stuff that follows them, and you don't want ish following you by making inappropriate statements.
Agreed. Clifton got a chance to go out with Dakia.
Yes.
And spend a little bit of time with his, I guess, quote unquote, second option.
Yeah.
How do you think that one went?
Well, again, Dakia with the sexual innuendos, you know what I mean? My gag reflex is strong as it relates to the oysters.
She can control it when you want to defeat it to her.
Oh my God. Sometimes I think I gotta watch Dakia with the volume down. Because this is just getting way out of hand.
Too much. Kia said, you want to put something in my mouth, and Clifton responds by saying, I sure as hell did. So I'm just like, see, she opened up a can of oysters, if you will, and it was not the right one. They were bad. It was foul.
Have some awareness of where you are. Have some awareness of secrets that a woman usually keeps to herself. Please, you can't just put it out there. God knows who's watching.
Yeah, and even in his confessional about that particular date, Clifton says that he realizes that there is a sexual energy between them. But I think in that case, if you're Dakia, you need to keep that under wraps. You need to keep that undercover until such a point in time. He got a chance to go out with Joy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really good platonic meeting and or date between the two of them. I think P.O. was probably, or Paul, should I say, is probably just kind of confirming in person what he already felt or vibed from Joy, that they've got a lot of common interests, but there's nothing romantic between the two of them, and that's okay. That's okay.
They had an adult conversation.
Absolutely.
And it was fine. Friendship is always a good thing.
Yep, and it's good to see that there are two individuals on that show that are okay doing that.
Absolutely.
It's really good. Yep, absolutely. Behind that, Laverne met up with Ace, and I have to admit that I was kind of confused about something because of his choice. On the one hand, in previous episodes, he had, obviously had a chance to meet with who he considered said was his number one choice.
Joy.
Yes. Joy. But yet and still, he described Ace as, Michelle Obama, Beyonce, and somebody else. She may be the one. So I'm like, didn't Nephew Tommy direct the fellas to go out with their second option?
Again, red alert on Laverne. He did not do the assignment. Ace has always been his number one. Him pretending that Joy was in the running, that's not true. Simply because when he met with Ace at that date, he instructed her to take news back to the women that they were in a relationship and that they were even marking their schedules regarding Christmas. And that Schmidt,
yeah,
Ish.
Yeah, ish.
That ish
Smish.
that he laid down with her about Christmas. This looked like they're filming sometime late spring, summer. Any man talking about a gift that he's gonna give you for Christmas, player.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a player move.
Yeah, I don't know when this season's episodes were taped, but I tell you what, I think it was a little early. In fact, even way early to talk about something like that with somebody that you hadn't established a definitive relationship with yet as part of the process. So it came across as being, like you, I think had said, manipulative and disingenuous.
Yeah, it reminds me of men who their game is to make promises to a woman for Valentine's Day or for the holidays, and when that time comes around, they're nowhere. They're gone.
One of the things that stood out for me, that got him to this point, was what he said in his confessional. He said that Joy is actually a female version of himself. I was like, oh hell no, dude.
Joy is nothing like this
No,
man. Joy,
not in
Joy
this
is
lifetime.
not manipulative like this guy is. Joy's a straight shooter, and this guy is all about me, myself, and I. Don't get that impression from Joy at all.
Right,
And Joy is enjoying the process. This guy is calculating.
Joy's confidence does not come across as arrogance or narcissism. It just doesn't.
It does not.
His does, from my vantage point, but Joy's definitely does not.
And then I don't think, again, from last week's episode, Laverne said he didn't trust any of the women, and I think that too,
hadn't earned his trust.
They have not earned his trust, and that for some reason I'm thinking after his date with Ace, that includes her as well.
But one thing's for sure from my vantage point, there's some definite warning signs with this one.
Yeah.
Definite warning signs, and you just hope that moving forward, that she recognizes them as it relates to her dealings with Laverne, because she's definitely close to the cliff.
And I hope she's not one of these women who think that she can change him. My love can change him. No woman could change a man. No, that's a non-starter. If you agree with that and follow that logic, you're in for a world of hurt. It's best to cut and run.
Yeah, it kind of leads me to question his motives for giving her that little lotion or skin product.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if that was sincere, or if it was just meant to kind of, like you said, manipulate the situation moving forward, and just kind of reveal like another level of game that he's trying to play.
He said he likes Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'll play that game with Joy? No.
I don't think so.
Ace is a low-lying fruit, so he clearly can get away with that nonsense. See this man for who he is. He's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready.
Yeah. Speaking of who he is, Tori had a date with Precious, and I was definitely questioning who he was, and maybe will be after seeing what I saw, in this episode for sure.
I mean, I'm just saying, put it down, put it down.
Yeah, and y'all know what we're talking about.
I mean, I know things are running smoothly. Access, rather, is available in the Metro
DMV.
Washington D.C. area, but my God, keep it until the cameras are off. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So that's all we gotta say about that.
For right now.
For right now.
Exactly.
Tori showed up on this date because he said he was nervous because he didn't have a second choice.
In the men's lounge meeting at the top of the episode.
Because his only focus has been on Sabrina, a woman who is not feeling him at all.
And he also admitted in his confessional that he felt like his kind of rapport, relationship, or connection with Miss Sabrina was shaky. From my vantage point, it wasn't shaky; it was non-existent. But that's just me.
Oh
Stop me when I'm
my,
lying.
oh
Stop me
my
when I'm lying.
God. Oh my God. Hey, again, maybe he should put it down. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. So he gets a couple of drinks and he sort of plies Precious with some wine and then some
Shots,
shots.
yep. Before he starts the conversation,
Right.
the real meat
Then
and potatoes of
he
it.
starts on this sexual kidney reference that I find alarming for a 39-year-old man to talk about him reaching her kidney. I know it's supposed to be a joke, but it's really not funny.
And when Precious is kind of, inquiring into, what kind of relationship they should have, moving forward, whether they should be friends or sexual friends or lovers, he responds by saying, if we were lovers, I would be all about, smashing organs. And I'm looking at this man like, thinking of myself, I need to hit the rewind button to make sure I heard what I heard, because I don't believe this clown said this.
Well, I don't believe Precious would say the friendship she should have is sexual. Why? Why, girl?
Right.
Why?
Right. It was the wrong thing from her in the way of I guess commentary. But I'm thinking to myself, not Corey, but Tori is sticking. Speaking of body parts, his foot, his ankle, his shin, and his kneecap down his throat. And it didn't stop from there.
And it seemed like when she tried to engage him on a deeper conversation, he wanted even more shots, and he leaned in for a sloppy, messy kiss, and he put his finger in his mouth, which was repulsive. And oh God, Precious, you're precious. Miss Galore is not to be given away to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Please.
Or Tori.
Please. You're worth more than that. Please don't devalue yourself by offering a man to be just his sexual partner. We need more than that. You're better than that.
Yeah, and what did he say in his confessional? That he wanted to see if there was a spark with Precious that still may have remained based on his initial meeting with her, but afterwards, it was all about Sabrina.
He discarded her like that. Men gotta be careful how they handle women and leave them intact.
Yeah, and speaking of his second confessional behind the second men's meeting lounge, I don't know about you guys, but it looked like he had seriously hit that choker smoking.
Well,
I'm saying, Tori, I'm just saying that's the way it looked like to me.
Well,
Am I wrong?
Okay, we'll just move away from that. These are just comments.
Or observations.
I looked the same way after I had maybe a teaspoon of wine. I thought the look was a little too familiar.
Too close to home?
Yeah, but this is
goodness.
wine we're talking about. So I'm a lightweight, a tablespoon, and I'm already giggling and happy. So hey, it is what it is. But moving along.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The second men's lounge meeting
Okay.
takes place, and there was
That's when your boy Laverne thought he was controlling.
Now he's my boy. Oh, okay. Wrong answer. Well, since you spoke on it, let me kind of elaborate on it. It seemed like Laverne decided he was going to give the rest of the fellas some
Advice.
Unwarranted and unsolicited advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the response that he got was a little funny to me, a little interesting to me. He decided that he was going to suggest how the fellas need to roll as it relates to letting the ladies know exactly where they are with him in their relationships and their connections, and not being afraid to do so. That didn't go over too well.
Yeah,
with the fellas.
Laverne didn't read the room.
Mm-hmm.
Laverne didn't understand that before he spoke on it, that, and he should admit that he too doesn't have some sort of concrete relationship going on. So then to assume that you can then advise men, grown men, of your thoughts was not gonna play out very well, because a couple of people seem like they want to square up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Donovan definitely didn't take too kindly to the remark, and he basically said that in his confessional that he was not going to be bullied by
Mm-hmm.
by anybody on the cast, and that included Laverne. And Chef Eric said that hey, he didn't need
He didn't
any
need his advice.
advice at all. That he knows how to conduct himself, and even Demetrius is like, man, I don't need your advice at all.
Demetrius and him were going at it.
Anyhow, I think it was arrogant and narcissistic for Laverne to even think that was right to do so. So, and obviously there were a couple of other brothers. I think Paul and Clifton also had these
The look they had on
slight
his face.
smirks or just looks of kind of like, did I just hear this guy say that?
Yeah, this is a good indication that if you're not grounded and have any kind of awareness, you can go out and say some stupid Smith.
You almost slipped in.
Some stupid Smith, and think that it's a message to the world when it really is not. So I'm just saying, Laverne got some work to do. Laverne is so full of himself. My God, he needs to start scooping that crap out.
Yeah, arrogance, narcissism, manipulative behavior has the opposite effect or intent from what it originates as.
Right, and he admitted last week that he didn't trust any of the women, and something happened in his life to cause that behavior to manifest in him acting like that, and
Yeah.
that's not going to help him in getting a relationship. Bad behavior is not sexy. Bad behavior is not appealing. Bad behavior may get clicks and likes, but it can be disastrous for your soul.
In the long term, for sure. The men meet for a second time in the men's lounge to decide, who they're feeling, who they're not feeling based on their second dates or second option dates, and they come to a consensus that both Joy and Precious are up for possible elimination.
Yeah, and Joy met with Demetrius, and she came in hot.
She damn sure did.
She's a straight shooter, so she cocked her head and asked Demetrius, "Are you really here for love?" She was reading him up and down, and he was taken aback, almost like he was offended. But I like Joy.
Yeah, especially what she did what you did in the way of an admission in her confessional.
Yeah, she said, I killed the messenger. I'm sorry, but no,
No, not really.
not really. Bang, bang. Dang.
Is that how the West Indian sisters do it? With that kind of sarcasm? Is
Hey, I'm just saying.
that how y'all do it?
That has some familiar with me.
Okay,
That's
okay,
all I'm.
okay.
That's all I'm gonna.
Okay. All right.
I'm familiar with that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, it's always.
Got a witness. Anyway, back to it. All right, that was one possible elimination date. The other one was Precious and Clifton.
Yes, and Clifton, being a gentleman, he revealed the men's decision, and Precious seemed like she knew it was coming, and she was gracious, which is good.
Yes.
So, but precious. You have so much going for you. You can sit back, take a step back, and just know that there's a different way.
I agree with that, but let me just take issue with one thing that she said in her confessional. She, based on my understanding, blamed or seemed to blame Demetrius for putting forth a narrative that led to her elimination amongst the fellas.
Well,
But
unfortunately, he got that from her.
right, and that's what I was kind of getting at. I think that she had a big part to play in that.
Yeah. As women, and we can do with our body what we want. Unfortunately, we still gonna be labeled as something that we're not, based on our attitude, conversation, and behavior. Men don't experience that.
She moving forward may want to kind of tone it way back in the way of sharing her sexual thoughts or feelings or with somebody that she's just beginning to get to know.
She just has to get an awareness of what her behavior. If you don't have an awareness of what you're doing, you're not going to correct it.
I agree.
So she just have to take a moment, step back, get some girls in her head, her girlfriends in her head who can tell her the truth, or even find health and healing in somewhere.
Yeah.
Counseling. We're not opposed to counseling. We have spent some time counseling ourselves to step back, and because there's a better path, and if the one that you're on is not leading you to what you say you want, that's an indication that you're on the wrong path, and you got to step back and go a different way.
For sure. So her departure from the show is maybe an opportunity for her to be able to do just
Absolutely.
that. Yeah. The show episode ended with something that was a little caught me off guard a little bit, a little surprising to me, and that was an interaction on a date between Eric and Dakia.
Yeah. We all were traumatized by last season's production with Philip and Shiloh in the alley. So when we see someone has a problem, we like, oh my God. But I hope this situation is not because of something that Dakia said, that Eric took the wrong way and decided to act on it, because Dakia says a lot of sexual stuff, and I don't know if she's in the position to back it up, and men could take that thing a wrong way if you're not careful.
Yeah, you just have to be careful about what you say to guys, and because like you said, you never know, what necessarily their intentions are,
and
Eric what they'll act on.
And Eric seemed to be doing some damage control with when he met with Carmen, talking about she leaned forward for a kiss, and that he obliged her, when we know full well that he's into the Dakia.
Right.
So he didn't have to say that he obliged her.
Right.
So maybe that's connected to what happened. We don't know. We're just assuming. So and you know what assuming does. So we'll stop right there and wait for the next episode.
Yeah, before I end up looking like an ass.
Amen. Shut up.
Anyway.
Anywho, we're so grateful for your time watching us. We're grateful if you subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment. If your comments are great, we will respond. If not, we don't have time for foolishness. Bless you. The world is great because you are in it. Trust and believe that. Have a good week. So be good. When you know good,
do good.
that's all we gotta say. Thank you.